Hello friends, this is the Loopy Project guy here to talk about the latest installment of the off-the-grid cabin. So we're going to start off with our view off of our balcony as we normally do, and come check out Wiley. He's on security duty today, so he's spying something off there in the distance. But what I'm going to go over today are a few things. We've made a fair bit of progress since the last time, our last video. We're going to talk about the water capture system, the completion of the septic system, and the indoor finish on the bedroom, living room, and where we're at with the outdoor kitchen. So first off, the septic. You saw that we dug the hole for the septic tank last time. We've since trenched the drain field, which is about a 50 by 50 square, and all of that has been installed. So all you can see at this point is the disturbed earth that we're watering to try and get the grass to come back to fill in, and where the septic tank was. So nothing really exciting to see there other than to say we can now use the bathroom facilities. So the next thing we worked on was the rain capture system. So the gutters have been installed. We did install a 2-inch pipe from the gutters that go down into an underground header. It goes underground and tees into this 3-inch pipe. And as long as the gutter system is higher than where the line goes into the tank, you'll have positive head pressure, which will force the water in the tank. And that's our situation here. The gutters are about 18 inches higher than this inlet into the tank. This is a 2,500 gallon tank. And, you know, for a facility like this, we assume about 50 gallons a day utilization with a couple, if they're not using a ton of water. Usually that's about what we see. We've installed a small gravel base here inside a metal edging trim that will hold up well and allow for rain to run off the top of the tank and not disturb the foundation holding the tank in place. The other thing that's kind of important about these plastic tanks is you have a flexible connection at the suction so that as the tank settles and moves around, it doesn't put undue force on the nozzle itself and potentially crack that. So this is all tied together nicely. This is called a first flush diverter line. And what happens is when the first flush of water comes off the roof, there may be some bug parts in there and some small seeds and such that get through the screens on the gutters. So the line will fill up to this point. It will start filling this first flush line that I've got buried out to this point. And you can see there's a cap on the end of the line with a small pinhole in it. And the purpose of this pinhole is it will drain that line out when it stops running, but it's not going to drain fast enough to where if it is raining, it will restrict the flow coming out. And eventually when that flush line is full, then it will start pushing the water up into the tank. So that's the theory, and I've installed a few of these and they work very well. So we have about 1,100 gallons of water in the tank, and that was due to about 2 inches. So we get about 500 gallons per inch of rain with this roof size. So after we get 6 or so inches, that will fill up this tank, assuming that we don't use the water itself. So that's our rain capture system. You'll see the gutters off the backside here. I did put leaf screen on the gutters to keep most of the larger particles out of the gutters. Only the very fine things get through. And then, as I mentioned, most of those will flush out in this first flush diverter line. So that's our rain harvesting system. Pretty simple, but very effective. And for an off-the-grid utilization, an area where you have a fair amount of rain, here we get about 36 inches a year. That's more than adequate for the utilization of this cabin. Okay, very good. Well, let's move on into the cabin itself then, and we'll show you some of the features here. First off, as we've mentioned in the previous videos, an outdoor kitchen will be utilized. I actually purchased an indoor cabinet, and I'm working to try and weatherize it. So one thing I did is got a very high quality outdoor paint that provides a layer of protection, but also on the outside surface here, where most of the rain would be hitting the cabinet, I put some more of our corrugated metal here from our old ranch house to protect this side of the cabinet from the really heavy rain. And I will be installing a concrete countertop that will actually be poured in place, and that will be coming soon. So I will show you how that works out. So that essentially weatherizes the top of the cabinet. Then all we have to worry about is the rain impacting the front of the cabinet. But it's pretty well tucked in here and protected by the roof, etc. I'll be putting a couple other cabinets up on the wall here on either side to add a bit more storage. And as you may recall, we'll put a small microwave here in the corner, and then our gas grill will be sitting over here facing the river. So you have a nice little handy kitchenette area for all your cooking needs. Okay, let's walk inside the cabin and see how it's finished out. So we went ahead and put in vinyl flooring, a nice little love seat that actually folds out into a bed. You can see how we finished out the windows with the old beadboard trim around the windows. I think that turned out quite nice. And this table was actually made out of an old door in the old ranch house. And just put a piece of plexiglass over the top of it to protect it, and so things don't settle into these recessed areas in the door. And finally, we purchased these metal bar stools. We thought they complemented the table nicely in the room and give a little contrast between the browns and the whites that we have in here. So this is the living area, and it's finished now with the exception of I still need to trim out these two windows. We've been waiting for a window for 6 months now. One of them that was delivered had a small crack in the corner, and we've ordered a replacement window. Still not here. So if you're building something like this, order your windows early or go see what's in stock and frame your windows out accordingly. Then we head into the bedroom. This window is complete now, and it's trimmed out with the same white beadboard from the cabin, and we have this turquoise beadboard in the rest of the bedroom for the walls. We put a double bed on this side to add a little bit more room for a couple, and then fitted the bunk beds on this side of the bedroom. So this cabin will sleep up to 4 or 5 with 2 in the double bed, 1 each in each of the bunk beds, and then if you do choose to fold out this little sleeper love seat. So that's how the bedroom finished out. In the living area, really pleased with how it turned out, but we're getting very close to the end. The focus this week will be on the outdoor kitchen, and then we'll be finishing up and doing a little wrap-up video. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope you like how this outdoor cabin, off-the-grid cabin's turning out. We're having a lot of fun with the project. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. This is a Loopy Project Guy. God bless.